early riser on Christmas morning? Well, in Wales in the 18th and 19th centuries, you would have to be. At 3 a.m. on Christmas morning, Welsh churchgoers would leave their houses by candlelight to go to the Plug-in, a service of carols. It lasted for up to 5 hours and took place in churches brightly lit by candles. In the time when services were rarely held in the dark, the brilliance of this illumination often made a lasting impression on those taking part. Symbolically, it recognised the significance of Christ coming as the light of the world. At the Plug-in service, a sermon was rare or kept short, and following the prayers, the male members of each family present were expected to take turns in singing an unaccompanied carol, often in 3 or 4-part harmony. There was no programme prepared for this, and each family simply came forward in turn, sang, and returned to their places. The service would contain up to 30 carols in Welsh, and every carol was different, as it was a matter of honour not to sing one that had been sung before. This led to families writing their own carols, with the words handed down between generations. The carols were often named after the farm or family who wrote them, or by the name of the folk tune to which they were sung. While some focus on the Christmas story, they are much more likely to deal with a wider theme of salvation, the way in which God has saved us from ourselves through the birth, life, and death of Jesus Christ. Other traditions grew up around the Plug-in. Churchgoers would often stay up all Christmas Eve, where toffee would be made around the fire, and the houses would be decorated with holly and mistletoe before the pre-dawn procession to the church. Records also show families rising at 2 in the morning and singing and dancing to the harp. Ar Gyfer Heddwr Bore is said to be the oldest Plug-in carol still in existence with music. It is rich in imagery, using biblical references that focus on Jesus' coming as the fulfillment of Old Testament promises and visions. In between the frequent reminders of Jesus' human vulnerability as a baby are the contrasting and thought-provoking images of the incarnate God. Today, the Plug-in survives in a number of places across Wales, particularly in Montgomeryshire, although nowadays the service starts at 6 in the morning and women and children join in the singing.
The Christmas holiday, as we know it today, was actually banned in Scotland since the time of the Reformation and was only made a public holiday in 1958. Until then, it was observed quietly, as the Church of Scotland didn't place much emphasis on the Christmas festival. Nowadays, it's celebrated very much like any Western nation, with perhaps 1 or 2 additions, none of which I'm familiar with, such as the baking of unleavened bread or Yule bread, and if you find a charm or trinket inside, then you're said to be blessed with good luck all year. There's the burning of a round twig, which is meant to rid any bad feeling between friends and family. And then there's clootie dumplings, which is a spice pudding with dried fruit wrapped in a cloth or clute and then boiled in water. And the tradition of first footing apparently began at Christmas before moving to New Year, and that's where the first visitor of the day would bring a gift, such as coal or food, and that would represent warmth and prosperity. And finally, I'm not sure if this counts, but you're more likely to get snow in Scotland. The Cairngorms get 76 days of sleet or snow on average per year, whereas Cornwall gets just 7.4. So on that note, I'll say Happy Christmas or Blithe Yule.
19 sleeps till Christmas.